Annie, if you could please call the roll.
Mayor Pollan.
Here.
Vice Mayor Satula.
Here.
Councilman Smith.
Here.
Town Manager Hicks.
Here.
All right, moving on to approval minutes, December 3rd town meeting minutes and December 19th work session minutes.
Mr. Mayor, I move we accept the meeting minutes as presented.
I second it.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the minutes are approved. Moving on to reports of officers, boards, and committees. First, the permits report.
Building use and occupancy sign permits issued during the month of December 2018. Building permits, December 4th, Kylie Evans, 810 Indian Head Avenue for a ground level deck. No use and occupancy permits, no temporary use and occupancy permits, no demolition permits, no grading permits, no sign permits, and no temporary sign permits.
Okay, thank you very much. Moving on to the finance report. Ginger?
December 2018 finance report. Beginning cash balance $704,436.52. Total revenues $84,966.53. Total expenditures $258,250.43 with an ending cash balance of $531,152.62. Total investments $775,201.36. Any questions?
Thank you.
No, thank you.
All right, and over to Ryan for code enforcement and a brief message.
There's not much to report for the town manager's report this month, so we really don't have one. But what we do have is the leaf vac has ended for the season. We've been getting quite a few phone calls at the town hall. Leaf vac ended on January the 2nd, actually. It was supposed to end on the 1st. So the leaf vac is no longer in operation. If you have leaves, put them in bags. We'll pick them up every Wednesday. Code enforcement report, December 2018. The town issued 3 notices of violation during the month, 2 for noise, 1 for grass and weeds, and 1 a property maintenance fine. The town also performed 1 rental inspection during the month. And there was no planning commission report. Planning commission meeting, was canceled.
Thank you very much. Moving on to Parks and Recreation, Environmental Sustainability Committee.
Good evening, everyone. On Parks and Rec, we are working on a schedule for the calendar year 2019, so that'll be posted early February. Environmental sustainability, we have 2 cleanups along Mattingly Park and then cleanups on other parks that we're going to do, so we'd like to have you out as soon as we get that schedule out to you. We have 2 parks that have been adopted. The Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority has adopted one of the parks, so they do a pretty good job of keeping that park cleaned, and they do an annual painting of the equipment and things of that nature. We've also placed some little libraries around town. So you see them, there's one at Mattingly Park, there's one at the end of the rail trail seating area, and then there's one in front of the school. So those are places you can put family-friendly books. Let me emphasize family-friendly books. We're getting great turnout. The books are turning over. So we have 2 more, Mr. Hicks. We have 2 more that we're going, when the ground is in the spring, we're going to put 2 more on other sides of the town. It's turned out to be a really good program. We're going to have reading sessions during the spring and summer. So if you are interested in reading for some of our younger people, you will be able to sign up. We're just trying to increase the literacy in the community. Are there any questions for me? Oh, thank you very much.
Moving on to the Bureau of Fire Prevention report. Chief?
Good evening, Mayor, Town Council, citizens. Happy New Year, by the way. For the month of December, 23 fire calls, 9 were within the town limits, 14 were mutual aid responses other areas in Charles County, Prince George's surrounding counties. The EMS had a total of 43 responses. We tracked 125 hours of training through departmental drills, formal education, MIFRE, CPR, that kind of stuff. Just a couple little highlights for the summer. Of course, the Santa Run, I hope everybody was happy. We did the best we could. We got it done before the rain got here, so that was a good thing. So for 2018, 302 fire responses, 140 were within the town limits, 162 were, again, mutual aid responses, 476 EMS responses, and a total of 1,500 hours for training. Some of the highlights, of course, the new ladder truck We got that in the springtime. We got the new ambulance, which I happen to bring with me if anybody'd like to take a look later. I know it's a little chilly outside. If you want to look at an ambulance, new ambulance, I'll have it out there for you. Again, fire prevention activities. At the last count, we handed out 38 or installed 38 smoke alarms for 2018. Again, within the town, no cost to anybody. If you're interested, you need those, please let us know. The only problem that we ran into is we had some people who have rental properties, and they kind of want us to come out and put up 9, 10, 12 smoke detectors, smoke alarms. Just for anyone's information that may be watching or anything, that's their responsibility as a rentor. I mean, if it's your personal home, private home, we'll definitely come out, we'll take care of you. One thing I want to talk about, it's a little colder than it has been, although hopefully it won't get as cold as it can get in January and February, but carbon monoxide seems to be a problem. I'm also the fire chief on base, and we've run 4 or 5 calls here in the last couple weeks with carbon monoxide on base. If you don't have a carbon monoxide alarm, if you've got fuel oil, propane, wood burning stove, anything like that, wise investment to go ahead and get yourself a carbon monoxide detector. They're about $40. There's a combination smoke alarm, carbon monoxide. The fire chief's going to rain on that parade, probably get called out on the carpet, but I'm not a fan of those. Simply because you put the smoke detector up on the ceiling, carbon monoxide is heavier than air or oxygen, and it concentrates at the floor level. So in other words, the whole room would have to fill up with carbon monoxide before the detector would go off. If you're going to get one, I meant to bring one tonight. My apologies, I forgot. They make them digital display. It just plugs into an outlet in the hallway or in the bedroom somewhere. If you need one, that's the best one to get because it gives you an actual display. If it's a low battery, it says LB on it. If there's an actual reading, it'll give you a number. If you do happen to experience carbon monoxide emergency at your house, leave the house as is. Do not open windows. Do not open doors. Leave it as is. Get out. Contact the fire department. We'll come in with our meters. We'll meter the house and let you know if there is a problem, if we detect anything, and then we'll go about how to fix it. Because by opening the doors, we could get false readings. It's a silent killer. It kills most people while they go to sleep. And the way it kills, of course, it depletes the oxygen in the room. You're not getting oxygen into your body. You go into sleep and unfortunately never wake up. So again, if you don't have one, you got fuel oil, propane, natural gas, wood burning stove, something of that nature, make yourself an investment. Go ahead and get one. It's not a bad idea. If you need any suggestions, I'll be here for a little bit. Like I said, I'll be out there with an ambulance, more than willing to help anybody. And as always, our membership's up about 10%, which is a good thing, but we're always looking for members. Please, we could use people who want to be firefighters, EMTs, even people who want to help on the administrative side. We can use anybody. We're not going to tell anybody no. So if you're looking to help the community, stop on by. And Thursday night is drill night. That's probably the best time to catch people there. We can get you an application. You can fill it out, return it if you want. If not, I believe me, I understand. With everything going on in people's lives, it's tough. I got it. Any questions for me?
Chief, I have a question. Would you recommend a detector on each level or just the lower level?
Usually at the floor level, simply because, like I said, it's heavier than oxygen, the air in the room, so it's going to settle, and it's really going to go down. If you got a 2-story house, it's going to collect either in the basement, if that's where the appliances are, or on the first level. Okay. If it goes into the alarm, like I said, if you get the digital readout, it'll give you a number. That way you're able, when you call 911, you're able to give them a number. And again, like I said, just leave the house secure. Don't open windows or stuff. Just leave it secure. We'll get there with the meters and then check it out and see what we got going on.
All right. Thank you.
All right, moving on. No community affairs or community policing reports today. I'll read community events at the end. No presentations or recognitions. On to resolutions. Annie?
Resolution 01-01-19, introduced by Mayor and Council, date introduced January 7th, 2019, Date adopted will be January 7th, 2019, and will make the date effective January 7th, 2019. A resolution to approve a 2018 hazard mitigation plan for the town of Indian Head. Whereas the County Commissioners of Charles County, Maryland have adopted a 2018 hazard mitigation plan for Charles County, and whereas the town of Indian Head participated in the development of the hazard mitigation plan, and whereas according to Section 322 of the Disaster Mitigation Act of 2000, DMA 2000, local governments must have an approved hazard mitigation plan as a prerequisite to receiving post-disaster hazard mitigation grant program funds. And whereas the Charles County 2018 Hazard Mitigation Plan recommends mitigation activities that will reduce losses to life and property affected by natural hazards that face the county and its municipal governments. And whereas the Town Council believes that it is in the interest of the residents of the town of Indian Head for the mayor and council to adopt the 2018 Hazard Mitigation Plan for Charles County as the Hazard Mitigation Plan for the town of Indian Head. Now therefore be it hereby resolved by the Town Council of Indian Head, Maryland, that the 2018 Hazard Mitigation Plan for Charles County is adopted as the Hazard Mitigation Plan for the town of Indian Head, and town officials and employees shall implement recommended activities assigned to them by the 2018 Hazard Mitigation Plan for Charles County.
Any questions? Okay.
Okay, this is up for adoption, correct? All right, Mr. Mayor, I move we adopt the resolution as read.
Mayor, I second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Annie, will the mitigation plan be posted, not just the resolution, but the plan as in its entirety?
Yes, it'll be posted attached to the resolution.
All right, thank you.
All right. Moving on to ordinances, none, petitions, none, unfinished business, none, and new business, none. On to miscellaneous. Announcement of upcoming events. Here it is. Community Activities Committee will meet Tuesday, January 8th, 7 p.m. at the Village Green Pavilion. Planning Commission will meet Wednesday, January 16th, 7 p.m. at the Village Green Pavilion. Parks and Recreation Commission will meet Wednesday, January 16th at 7 p.m. at the Senior Center, followed by the Environmental Sustainability Committee meeting Wednesday, January 16th at 7:30 p.m. at the Senior Center. Town Hall, Community Affairs, and Public Works will be closed Monday, January 21st. No trash pickup. Town Council work session will be Wednesday, January 23rd, 3:30 p.m. at Town Hall, and the next town meeting will be Monday, February 4th, 7:30 p.m. at the Village Green Pavilion. All right, moving on to citizens' comments. If you have a comment, please go to the podium and state your name and your comment. Their concept plan was adopted, and that's the last we heard from them. I know they were working on some stormwater issues.
Yeah, they had a few stormwater issues that need to be addressed. Excuse me, Mayor. They had some stormwater issues that need to be addressed. They have not been back before us with their proposed plans and their revised drawings. So I guess right now I would say we're in a holding pattern.
Sorry, I got confused between concept and preliminary in my brain, and I went to go say pre-concept, and I was like, that's not what it is. It's preliminary, but
No problem.
yes. Yep. Doing good. If you haven't tried it yet, definitely go and try it. I go there and eat way too much.
Yeah, very nicely decorated, and it's a really welcome addition to Indian Head.
Agreed. Any
No,
others?
no other comments?
Comments?
My name is Brian Crum. I'm a resident of Riverwatch community, and the reason I'm here is just to put some stuff on record. And the last time I was here, we had talked about the water drainage issues in Riverwatch and what we were going to do to try to solve them. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Yeah, last time we were here, we had talked about the water issues we were having in Riverwatch and what we were going to do to solve them, and we came up with a plan with Ron and the town, and what it was we were going to go forward with the HOA's approval and fix some drainage that needed to be connected, dig a trench, connect the drains to the existing main drain that we have in the common area of the community. And we have done part of that. And then the other part was the backfill of the trench once it was dug. And we have a couple sinkholes in the community also that we talked about in the last meeting that were also going to be filled. Now, I know we had said that it was going to be done, and there's been a change in the plan with the HOA because they want to revise the decision and go back and look at some other issues and tie that in with the old plan that we had come up with. However, I thought that we could at least complete this trench area and some of the other sinkholes that we had started before we add anything onto it or make that something new. And if we can't, I just wanted to, that's why I came here, just so that it's on record, because we do have that trench behind in the common area, which is a safety issue, and it needs to be filled. And I know that if a decision isn't made through the HOA, then it could take on till February sometime until you meet again. And I thought that this was going to be something that was taken care of the last time, and that's it seems to have been changed. So I just wanted to put it on record and see if we can maybe come up with some type of solution to at least get that common area filled back in. And that big sinkhole that's across the street, that has to be addressed because kids and such that could come into contact with the area.
Yep. Thank you, Brian. The response to that would be because this is the HOA issues at this time. So HOA is going to, their meeting is coming up in February. So if prior to that it is not agreed, then it requires unless there's a unanimous agreement on how to resolve that issue, then we have to go to that meeting where the majority is going to agree. So if it doesn't get fixed before February's meeting, which I believe February 17 or something, then we have to wait until the February 17 to get a majority and then authorize the disbursement of the funds to do that. But at least I'm happy with the progress being made, as you saw, and you did a lot of work out there. So hopefully we'll continue to look into that and then resolve as soon as possible. So that's the plan.
Like, how big of a trench are we talking? Like, is it 50 feet by?
It's at least from where I'm standing to probably almost the cameraman.
Okay, so that's probably length, but how about, how wide is it? 2 feet, 4 feet?
At least 2.5 feet, and then maybe
So
2 feet deep.
You need some dirt to
It
fill
needs
it
to be
in.
Dirt to fill
backfilled.
it in.
Yeah, it
Yep.
needs to be backfilled.
I mean, Brian, is that something that,
It's an HOA issue. If you're going to sit here and tell me that you want me to backfill it,
well,
I'll
but
send
it's,
crews down.
but it transcends an HOA issue. It's a safety issue because you have kids that are walking there.
No.
It's-
If it's not a safety issue, wait till your February meeting. But
I
if
mean,
it is
it's
a
not
safety
as
issue-
simple as you're saying. The sinkhole. If I go down,
I'm
and
talking
fill
about the
dirt
trench.
I'm just using the sinkhole as an example. If I go down and fill dirt in the sinkhole,
Mhm.
it's going to back up the drainage on the home. So until someone extends the pipe, I would back their drainage up. So I can't just dump dirt in that hole.
No,
Now I could rope that off.
in the trench.
that's been taken care of. The drains have been tied and connected. It's just the trench itself. Now, I understand what you're saying. The reason I came back on record to mention this is because I thought that this was resolved between the HOA, and there's been another change of plan, and so I figured that because there are other people in this meeting that were unaware, they thought it was a done deal the last time also. So I just want to bring it to the table and let it be known that it's not. And I don't think we could wait.
Is
I
it-
I think that we should have gone ahead and done what we had planned to do from the door.
So the work is done, it just hasn't been backfilled?
No,
So the work is not done?
it hasn't been backfilled. The
That's
work's
it?
been done in the trench, yeah.
Yeah, I think still the HOA should be the one that's responsible. It should not be the town that should be getting in there. So
Safety issue,
at this time, I wouldn't necessarily say that as a safety issue because it is not an area where children go and play. It is just against the behind the parking lot. So we will take care of that. But again, like I said, and we have to follow the process and the protocol. So try to do it as soon as possible. But if we can't do it before February 17th, then we have to wait for the majority to vote and disperse the funds. So that's the earliest.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Warren Bowie, 9 Maple Street. There's a situation down at Dollar General and the vacant lot next to it. The lot is continuously littered with a lot of trash from Dollar General. You talk to the manager at Dollar General and they say it's not their problem, it's the lot owner's problem. But there's got to be some type of, someone's got to look into that. I mean, it's just continuously littered and coming into town. You see it. We live in Potomac Woods. We see it every day. So I just wish the town would get with the owner of Dollar General and the vacant lot owner and see if something can't be worked out, that they can come up with a schedule to have that cleaned. I know people are just going to litter, although they have trash cans out at Dollar General. They're always full, overflowing.
That's the problem.
In the back of the store is just completely